boxing champion. But it's not trouble in the ring that's caused Mike Tyson's problems. It's been his battles outside it. A broken marriage, public brawls and rumours of a drinking problem. But while his personal life was on the ropes, in the ring it was business as usual. In the last year and a half, Tyson has stopped 3 opponents in under 7 rounds. So, is Iron Mike really on a course to self-destruction? The one person no one had asked until last week was Tyson himself. Is there anybody who says to Mike Tyson, don't do that, Mike, you're being silly?
I know. I know what I'm doing. I know most of the time, you know, I can act like a jerk. But I do basically what Mike Tyson wants to do. I mean, that's what I enjoy. I do basically whatever I feel like doing, I'm going to do it.
For 2 weeks now, Tokyo has been Tyson City. The Japanese paid £5 million for the privilege of staging Mike Tyson's 38th fight against the frankly second-rate Buster Douglas. Tyson's so casual about this defence, he'd taken a few days off training after he was floored by sparring partner Greg Page.
There you go. Get up, you all right, Mike? It's all right.
I caught up with him at Tokyo's exclusive New Otani Hotel, where the champion talked in his suite on the 39th floor. Who's hit you the hardest so far?
I don't know, you know, Bruno caught me with a pretty good shot. Once you get hit, you know what I mean, that helps me more than anything because, whoa, you know, you calm down and, like, let's fight.
He can't survive this.
But then Tyson's been fighting all his life. As a member of the notorious Brownsville street gang, the Jolly Stompers, he'd been arrested 40 times before he was a teenager. At 12, he was sent to approved school for armed robbery. That was the turning point. A school counsellor took him to legendary fight trainer Cus D'Amato. In 1982, he legally adopted Tyson. What was your relationship like with Cus? I mean, did you look upon him as a father figure?
Most like a father figure, a big brother, you know what I mean? But I would say a father or a teacher because he was always reprimanding me.
For what kind of things, Mike?
Because I was horrible. I was a horrible kid. Because when I was 17, he bought me a car. And once he bought me a car, I stopped coming to the gym. I used to hang out all late hours at night.
So what happened? He took the car away, did he?
Took the car away. And so funny about it because he used to say, give me the keys, and I used to run in the car and lock myself in the car. I said, nope, I give up the keys.
And Cus had always said you were going to be heavyweight champion of the world. That looked like it was going to happen, and then he died.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's tough, man, but in life, you know what I mean, everyone, we miss out on everything. We miss people that we love, we lose them, and you lose in fights, you lose in business, you know what I mean, you lose in position, status. But regardless of what it is, you know what I mean, you got to keep on. You know what I mean? Everybody loses, like I said before, you loses in all general aspect, but it's the people that come back from the loss, you know what I mean?
Tyson went on to become the youngest ever world heavyweight champion. At just 20, he demolished Trevor Berbick in 2 rounds for the title. He seemed invincible. Then he met actress Robin Givens. Married in 1988, divorced just over a year later, the relationship was never out of the headlines. It was during this period that the controversial Don King became Tyson's promoter and advisor.
He's a bomb ready to be detonated in the center of the ring.
Oh, beautiful punch dance.
The youngest heavyweight in the history of the sport of boxing went through domestic intranquilities second to none. The witches of Eastwood had nothing on those that he had on him, you know what I mean?
Do you think it was doomed to fail from the start?
Well, you know, you never think about stuff like that, you know what I mean? It's just something that happens. People go through marriages, you know what I mean? I doubt some people go through 6 or 7 men. Look at your guy, Richard Burton, you know what I mean? He went in and out. You know, these things happen. I might get married 10 more times before I find somebody right. You know, because I look back and I see, I look at the film, like I look at the Sphinx fight or something, and I look at myself and I say, God, I'm at the, you know, I mean, the pinnacle of my career at that particular point. And I'm married, 21 years old. I mean, that's insane. But you don't think about that. When you're in love, you never use logic. Never. I never feel that feeling no more, that like, oh, you know, just sick or headache feeling. I don't feel that feeling no more.
Are you still in touch with Robin?
No.
How about a mother?
I move on, man. I go on, man. I elevate all the time, man. I don't think in the immediate, nowhere in the immediate future, probably in 20, 30 years, I'll ever get married again. I really don't believe that I'll ever get married again.
Would you like kids, though?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Do you think there are things you do for your kids that perhaps you'd like your father to have done for you? Would you be a good father, do you think?
In my mind now, you know, because I'm not a father, I believe I will be. I really do believe I will be. But if that's, has something to do with spoiling a child or something, I mean, anyone could do that. But I'm a very stern person because when I was young, Cus was very stern, so I'll be a tough father.
Tyson's public image has been dented by the personal revelations of Jose Torres, former friend and fellow Cus-D'Amato protege.
People are going to pimp you regardless, especially when you're at the stage when you make money and you're at a certain level. And it's been that way, I mean, before I was born, it'll be that way after I die. I mean, because that's the nature of human beings, you know what I mean? To grab the quick buck, to get ahead because they don't think about tomorrow, they don't think about today.
Have you always felt that? I mean, was that something that came to you when you were quite young?
My opinion, people basically suck. Yeah, that's my opinion. It's just that I'm a good nature and I like people, but my own opinion, they basically suck.
At this particular time, the biggest foe is Tyson himself. So this is a challenge in itself. When you go there to the arena, it's two opponents that Tyson is fighting. One is himself, and one is the challenger.
King is busy trying to improve Tyson's bad boy image. The PR drive includes a vow to give up drink and a very public turn towards God. He's come a long way, from stealing hubcaps to driving his own Lamborghini pickup. Does money mean much to you now?
Yeah, everyone needs a dollar, so I'm not going to say money doesn't mean anything to me, so you have to survive. But, you know, I mean, I don't think of it on a higher scale, as most people do in my position. I spent all my my years training, all my life. I never did nothing else but train and fought, you know what I mean? And that's all it means. So if I see something I want, I'm going to buy it, you know what I mean? Regardless of what someone says, you know what I mean, you shouldn't do this because you forget it next day. But I want it, I buy it.
You're so level-headed, so in control, and yet some of the press reports I've read would suggest that you're kind of suicidal or kind of manic-depressive or...
I'm always in control, regardless of the situation. I remain in control. I've always been like that since I was a kid. You know, every time people sometimes tend to believe that it's crazy and everything's going berserk around me, but I'm always under control. I'm always under control. And I'm still here, and I'm still the champ of the world, which people didn't think I was going to remain the champ of the world. I'm still making tons of cash. And I like always saying that because that makes people, that boils their blood. You know what I mean? They hear that, and they find that I'm making tons of cash, and it really, you know, it doesn't affect me much. It affects them more. And it's not even their money or their prestige or their fame. And it affects them, and it bothers them.
Maybe at 23, the undefeated heavyweight champion of the world is back on an even keel. He's still got some way to go before he beats Rocky Marciano's record of 49 straight victories. The question is, will Tyson last the course? You're 23. You've achieved everything you set out to do. Where do you go from here?
I don't know, maybe I have a child. I want to have a child, and then when I have a child, and by God forbid, if everything goes well, by the time he's 2 years old, I'll retire. I spend all my time with him.